I wrote about the incredible shrinking pop star, Justin Bieber. And, I know we've seen a lot of pop stars who look like they're fresh out of rehab in their jammies and bathrobes, looking disheveled as all get out, from Matthew Perry to Nick Nolte. But there's something different about Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber is sharing a cryptic message on maturing and letting go. The singer, who has been facing rumors of a rocky relationship with wife Hailey Bieber since December, is sharing a spiritual message about bettering himself as he gets older. Justin writes in a February 20th Instagram story set to the song Free Fallin' by John Mayer, quote, "It's time to grow up. Changing is about letting go, not trying harder. Are you tired of trying to follow all of the rules in hopes to get the results you crave? I found love to be more powerful than rules." The 30-year-old, who has been open about his Christian beliefs in the past, also gives advice to his followers on how to live a love-filled life. He continues, quote, "I try to follow the rules. I'm not good at it. But you don't need to follow rules to enter a life of love. You just receive, so enter love living. God always grants us love. It's one of his promises. Upon receiving God's love, you start to change and start following love."
Now, with every celebrity marriage, especially with people that attractive, everyone's going to say that their marriage is in trouble. And maybe it is. Maybe these two are just a couple of blowhards who only care about themselves and have a really hard time sticking it out for the long run, even though they have a baby. But we have to look at the timeline of Justin Bieber's recent descent and also look at how that coincides with not only the baby, but Sean Combs, his former mentor, being locked up. So in January 2024, Bieber looked great. He looked happy. He was posting about having a great new year. His wife was expecting. We didn't know that yet. And then in August, she had the baby. Well, in September of last year, that's when he started a pretty deep descent. And that's also when Diddy was arrested. So if you look at those things, all the things start coming to light that sort of coincide with the gossip that's coming out of the federal investigation into Diddy's proclivities and the things that he has been charged with.
Just days after their cozy trip to Aspen, Justin Bieber unfollowed his wife Hailey Bieber on Instagram, and his fans took to notice immediately. Well, now the 30-year-old singer is claiming that he was hacked. News Nation senior story editor Paula Froelich is here with the scoop. Paula, good morning to you. Was he actually hacked, or what are your sources telling you on this one?
Additionally, Justin, who shares 6-month-old son Jack Blues with Hailey, says he shifted his focus on his spirituality to help him leave his old self behind, explaining, quote, "You don't work to mature, you let go to mature. Today I'm letting go and remembering the weight isn't on me to change. The weight is on God." While it's unclear what prompted the lengthy post from the singer, both he and Hailey have repeatedly denied relationship strife in the past several months.
And you start to realize that when someone has a baby, a couple of things happen. One, you feel so incredibly protective in a way that you never knew was possible. You never knew that your heart could live outside of your body, and you never knew that you could look at something so innocent and precious and not only love it so much, but want to protect it utterly. And what it reminded me of, the trouble that he was having, the expression that he had of the difficulties that were going on with him emotionally, it reminded me of that documentary Leaving Neverland about the alleged victims.
Story is breaking news. Justin Bieber announcing that he's taking a break from performing for health reasons.
And the singer announced on Instagram that he is suffering from paralysis on one side of his face.
It is from this virus and has caused my face to have paralysis.
He's doing really well. He is getting better every single day. He's feeling a lot better, and obviously it was just a very scary and random situation to happen.
Hailey Bieber promises fans Justin is recovering after announcing his Ramsay Hunt diagnosis that left half his face paralyzed.
This is pretty serious, as you can see. I wish this wasn't the case, but obviously my body's telling me I gotta slow down Thanks for being patient with me. And I'm gonna get better. And I'm doing all these facial exercises to get my face back to normal.
Haley stopped by Good Morning America Wednesday and shared the latest on her husband's road to recovery. The model says Justin is leaning on her for support, and it's only making their marriage stronger.
I think the silver lining of it, honestly, is that it brings us a lot closer because you're going through this together, you're being there for each other, you're supporting each other, and there's just something that really bonds you through these times. Going through it very publicly in front of a lot of people, it kind of almost in a way forces you to have to just be upfront about what's going on so that people understand what you're going through.
Earlier this week, Justin shared an update with fans and revealed he's relying on his faith to pull him through. Writing on Instagram, "This perspective has given me peace during this horrific storm that I'm facing. I know this storm will pass, but in the meantime, Jesus is with me."
It's gonna be okay, and I have hope, and I trust God, and I trust that this is all it's all for a reason.
Was he actually hacked, or what are your sources telling you on this one?
Yeah, he was hacked. But you know what is so crazy, Marky, is that the hysteria for about 3 or 4 hours online, everything was blowing up. Oh my gosh, Justin and Haley, they're on the verge of breaking up. They must have broken up. He unfollowed her. It was badonkers.
Also,
and
who
then all
has
of a sudden,
time to check that every day? Like, do people
It's
actually check
nuts.
every day
Thank
to
you.
see if they're following
Thank
one
you.
another? Like, please
It's
give me the free
bonkers.
time.
Just a hot second. Thank you. Yeah, it was
Crazy.
a little bonkers. He was like, I was hacked. He immediately followed his wife back. And you know what? Guess what? They're fine.
They're fine.
It's great.
Yeah.
Whooshu.
Okay. We were very worried. I lost some sleep
Yeah.
over it last night, Paula.
The thing that they all had in common was the extent of their trauma didn't hit them until they had kids. And that was when they really suffered the most anxiety, the most guilt, and, the most post-trauma they had since they were abused as children, because it made sense to them that, here's something you want to protect. And so many of them felt, why didn't my parents protect me? Now, we don't know what happened between Diddy and Justin Bieber when Diddy was his mentor, when he was grooming him for superstardom. What we do know is when Justin Bieber was just 15 years old, he was a tiny person. He should have been with his parents. He should have been with his team. He should have been protected from someone who was talking about making every 15-year-old's fantasy come true, and how Diddy was given custody of Bieber for 48 hours and they were going to go full buck crazy. That was the quote. And I'm sure you've seen the video. You've seen the two of them cavorting around, and Bieber's got a big smile on his face. And not long after that, they were both on Jimmy Kimmel together, and Kimmel seemed kind of disturbed by what he was watching. And he's like, there's something weird about this relationship. So he asked Justin Bieber, like, what do you guys do when you're together? And Diddy cut him off and said, he knows not to tell on Big Brother Puff and talk about what we do. And it's like, that was disgusting on its face. God only knows what was happening, but that it was traumatic because Justin Bieber has talked about the trauma. In a documentary that he did in 2020, he was in tears talking about wanting to protect Billie Eilish from all the things that he had been through, and he said he would never wish what he had been through on anyone.